Welcome back. On this Tuesday morning, Dr. Travis Gratton from University Veterinary Care Center is now joining us live by Skype for today's pet advice. Good morning, Dr. Gratton.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, glad to have you back. And we were just talking with James Ryan about the heat and our pets in the heat and the need to keep them safe. And it is hot, but how well do dogs tolerate this hot weather?
Well, certainly if they're acclimated to it, they do okay, but if they've been living in the air conditioning and haven't been out getting much exercise, they're certainly going to struggle a little bit more, just like we do. And the big concern with these guys is that they aren't able to sweat. They're often down closer to the hot surfaces where there's less airflow going, and so they have to cool themselves by panting and evaporating moisture off of their tongue surfaces.
Well, what are some factors that affect a dog's heat tolerance?
Well, certainly age is a big one, and then the others, of course, body weight, the shape of the body. The little barrel-chested breeds tend to not cool themselves near as well. Coat type is a big factor, and then obviously also then other ongoing medical conditions.
And what are some signs that we can watch for heat stress in our pets?
There's really kind of three things that we kind of watch all together there that are the best indicators that we're progressing into trouble or danger, and that is kind of the shape of the tongue, the character of the saliva that is on the tongue, and then just kind of the respiratory character and noises. As we start out, the dog's tongue is relatively flat, kind of thin like a tongue depressor. As they start moving more blood into the tongue to cool themselves, to evaporate that saliva off, then the tongue actually begins to thicken. You'll sometimes be able to see the underside of the tongue along the sides of the teeth. The tongue gets longer as it engorges. The saliva goes from kind of thin, dripping saliva to thicker drool. And then as they get more and more hot, the tongue actually becomes more spoon-shaped out at the end. The saliva starts getting more foamy, very thick, becomes less efficient. So as we kind of progress through that, we really want to kind of think about taking a break or getting in out of the heat. And especially if we start having a lot of respiratory noise, like we're really struggling.
Well, what are some next steps if we do suspect that our pet may be suffering from some heat stress?
Well, certainly if we're in shape and we're just out playing and exercising, take a break, seek some shade. Ideally get in out of the heat completely, find some air conditioning, even if it's only briefly. Water certainly very important, because just as we dehydrate from sweating, dogs are dehydrating from panting. So if they're really getting warm, certainly you can wet the coat down and allow them to cool off that way, get some better airflow on them.
All right, Dr. Gratton, thank you for joining us this morning. Good advice this time of year for pet parents. And for more information about University Veterinary Care Center, just head over to universityvetcare.com.